What is important that we know today on December 7th?
Well, I mean, I think, we've been blessed with some warmer temperatures. But even if it was cold and snowy and blizzard conditions, I think our market would still be at where it's at right now. I think there's such a demand out there for homes. And we're seeing that reflected in our numbers. I mean, the inventory levels actually reduced from last November to this November. It was like 41%. So it's amazing. And I just don't. We get to a point, Rick, and I guess the question I would have is, at what point do we get to this inventory level where all of a sudden it's like we really will be kind of slowed down to a stop until we get more listings out there? I mean, I think it's a challenge right now for a number of buyers.
I agree. The inventory we have now versus the realtors we have, it's almost one per realtor, and it kind of gets scary.
Do one sale and take the rest of the year off.
That's right, if you can make that sale.
Nick, you want to go one step further with that when we go down the rabbit hole? Number of homes available this morning, active in Sioux Falls, single family, 171 homes.
And a year ago?
You did that to me. I know.
Well, you told me you had the answers.
So here's the year ago. So you stymied me the last time we talked. You said
I don't try to do that.
How does this compare to previous years? And so I pulled up the numbers of so we currently have when it comes to actives, new listings. You asked me how many new listings, and I said it's pretty comparable to past years. And then you said, really? How? Give me the numbers. And I was like, okay, I don't have the numbers. But so now I have the numbers this morning. I went all the way back to 2008. So 2008, we were at 334 new listings in November. Well, when I just go through the numbers all the way from 2008 till present, it averages out to be right about 320 new listings in November. So we're right on task with that, given our marketplace. I mean, we've increased in population, so we have more homes, more people, but we're still right at that similar number. But the thing that is the driving factor here is our sales and pendings have outpaced those new listings so much that we are now down to 900 and some homes available in our whole MLS.
The other thing that's changed since 2008, and we'll let everybody talk about this, is that we were in a position that you weren't taking multiple bids unless it was a giveaway of some kind. And when we talk about that, what would you say, first of all, that is different today than 2008?
Well, 2008, we were going downside. We were going into a lot of foreclosures and stuff like that. And so, like I said, when a house came up, nobody really wanted to bid on it because the market was down. The market didn't stay ahead. So today, there's just people want to list, but they're waiting. They're staying in their homes and waiting for this COVID to come through. And I hate to keep saying COVID, but this is where we're at today.
Yep, it's definitely having an impact.
It has.
Larry, from your side.
Every year we kind of get a little lower in this time of year. It picks up, towards the end of the month and then goes all the way up through, May, July. I mean, so if you watch the graphs, it kind of happens. But like Tony says, based on the population, we should have more homes that are out there based on the population growth going up since 2008.
Well, it's something to keep a close eye on, and if you're buying or selling or building or whatever the case may be, that's the reason we do this show, to give you the latest information. You got 72 pages of notes, and you got 3 minutes. What are you going to do with it?
All right, so talking about like percentage of price gotten for homes sold. So right now, we are at 99.1%, and the easy way to boil that down is if we had a $100,000 home, the sold price is going to reflect $99,100, okay? So now let's unpack this and go back to, like, for example, and I'm just going to take the most extreme example. November of 2011, they were only getting $91,300 at that time. So they were getting 91.3%. And so that, to Rick's point of, like, 2008 is when we started to feel the whole thing with, the pullback, recession with housing and that sort of thing. And that's when the numbers started. I mean, they started in the mid 90s, and they went down to the low 90s. Well, today we're 99.1%, and then if you get to certain price points where you can take a look at those, they're at like 99.8 to 99.7, meaning they're just getting whatever person's listening for, they're getting paid for it.
In essence, if people have a home that they want to sell, don't wait till spring?
No, not at all. And don't be afraid of we talked about this last week. Don't be afraid of the fact that people say, well, I don't know if I'm going to list because I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to. I don't want to be homeless. There's ways to handle this where you're not going to be homeless. All I'm saying is that we're talking to people right now. We're saying, let's have a conversation. Let's figure out what your home is worth. Let's sit down. We'll figure out, get your home all prepared, ready to go. And then in the meantime, we actively shop. We find a house that you want. We make the offer, and we immediately hit the button. We make your house live, and it just goes. Things will happen that way. But that's probably the extra step that we've had to start taking a look at versus saying, well, let's go put an offer in, and then let's get your home ready.
Rick, when you listen to what we're talking about this morning, scary times or opportunistic times?
Well, both. I would say it's both. December, January, February is always slow. It's been that way. It's just, but at this time of where we're at, we're going to, I think it's an opportunity for sellers to make money, because that's what real estate's all about, is making money on houses. And they're going forward. I think it's going to come out of this. We're going to be all healthy, and we're going to be good to go.
Larry Luetke, give you one last question, and that deals with, are you surprised at the number of people in other parts of the country that are trying to sell their homes, can't sell their homes, and want to move to South Dakota? That's been a change since 2008. We got people that want to come here.
Yeah, I was just in North Dakota this last weekend for a convention, and everyone loves our governor. Everyone, if you watch her Facebook feed, they're saying, hey, I want to move there, I want to visit. So she has drove a lot of people to our great state and our city. And I think we're going to continue to see that just based on everywhere I go. They're saying, hey, we see and hear your ads everywhere to come to South Dakota. And I think we're going to see a great growth. We just have to have the inventory. Right now, if you look at the inventory, months of supply, last year, 4 months, this year, 1.8. That's 53% down from last year. And what that means is if all the no new homes came out on the market in 1.8 months, all the inventory would be gone.
All right, Tony Bachman, I did ask you a question off the air, and it sets up what we're doing at 9:32 this morning.
Okay.
And that deals with the state bank, all the things that the housing authority is doing. If you are getting multiple bids, and one of those bids is coming from out of state,
right,
should you be using a bank or an institution in South Dakota?
So here's the consultation I have with buyers that are coming from out of state is they may already say that they have a lender in place. And I'm not here to tell them who to get their loan from or anything like that. But I will say that it makes your offer look stronger when you're dealing with a local entity that the seller or the seller's agents know that they can reach out and have a conversation with and see the whites of their eyes, as opposed to working with someone that's in some other state, someplace that's got 100 files on their desk, and you're just one of the many, numbers. So, again, I'm not telling people that they have to do it. I'm just recommending strongly that they take a hard look at maybe using a local lender. Larry
Luetke, thank you for your service. Thanks for being named Realtor of the Year or of the Decade, whatever it was. You deserved it.
Yeah, well, thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you,
Tony.
Bill. Yep.
You don't get to leave.
I guess not.
Brad Mayer's on next with you.